Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another discussion topic. This time around, I'm going to be discussing Nicholas, and basically, should Nicholas have died? Now, in some sense, to some extent, this will be a character spotlight on Nicholas. I'm not saying it is, because that's not my intention, but I could see some people actually confusing it for a character spotlight, so I just want to get that disclaimer out of the way. It's not character spotlight at all. I'm just discussing Nicholas, and should he have died? The previous episode, should he have died, uh, and who should have killed him, basically, or how he should die, basically his death. Um, so yeah, now in the comics, he's very similar to the comics. He's a piece of shit survivor, and in the comics, he's basically put down by walkers, basically. Throughout in the All Out War story arc, he is infected by a machete covered in zombie blood, which was Negan's tactic. Basically get all your materials, get all the weapons, knives, bows and arrows and whatnot, take them in zombie blood, and then start killing survivors like with that, so they could get infected, and that's how Nicholas died. He got infected through zombie blood. Um, so yeah, now in the TV show, I think he's gonna die way earlier. I don't think he's gonna survive that long. I'll be surprised if he does survive that long. I mean, yeah, I mean maybe they could put him in the background for most of season six. I do think they could put him in the background for most of season six. But yeah, I don't think he's a character we'll have much concentration on. He's not really a character that I think we'd care much to see of, especially after what he's done recently. Um, so yeah, now in the previous episode, he basically killed Noah. Okay, he didn't, but he caused Noah's death by pushing the door, and then and yeah, he's been taken down. He's a pretty weak survivor. I mean, most of the people in Alexandria are weak, and he is one of the stronger survivors of Alexandria. But as a survivor in general, he's pretty weak. Because when you talk about strong survivors in Alexandria, you have Nicholas, you had Aiden. Now he died. You have Aaron and Eric, and aside from that, you really don't have any actual strong survivors. Maybe Pete, maybe Tobin, Francine, possibly. The people in the construction crew for sure probably are decently strong. Especially since they have to carry stuff. Um, but aside from that, I think the strongest survivors in Alexandria will include Aaron, Tobin, Eric, um, Aiden. Well, previously it did include Aiden, Francine, possibly Pete, and Nicholas. And Nicholas is one of those few strong survivors within that group now. As an overall survivor, he's not that strong. It's not really that good. We have seen him. He panics a lot. And that's basically what caused both the death of Aiden and Noah, as well as a couple of survivors from his previous group. From what he mentioned, that he and Aiden, they abandoned people so they could survive. So he's a pretty piece of shit survivor. Now, should Nicholas die? Should Nicholas die? Now, there's three ways. Yeah, there's three ways. His character could have died in the previous episode, or four ways. Actually, no, there's only three ways his character could have died in the previous episode. One is if he was while in the revolving door of death. Is if he would have sacrificed himself, or alternatively, if Noah and Glenn would have pushed the door, so Nicholas would have been eaten. Either way, he would have been ripped apart by zombies one way or another, even if he put a bullet to his head. So I do think that's one possibility he could have died. Now, once he escaped, there's two possibilities. Once he escaped the revolving door of death, there's two ways he could have died. Either one, Eugene could have killed him, which I would have loved to see Eugene just go all nuts on Nicholas, have him killed. That would have been hilarious and a really dark and twisted development for Eugene, because in the comics, he's only killed like one person, and that one or two people. He hasn't really killed that many people, and even after that, they're more of enemies. Now Nicholas, he is a bit antagonistic, but he currently is part of that group he's surviving with, the Alexandria group. Now, also alternatively, Glenn could have killed him, which would have made more sense considering he just saw Noah die 2 inches in front of him and couldn't do anything, and he is the reason he caused half of their troubles even back in the previous run with the zombies. So yeah, and there is in the comics, if I'm not mistaken, there's a point in the comics where, even in the comics, Glenn and Nicholas, they don't have the strongest relationship. And I believe right before Pete in the comics was killed, um, there's a small, I think, story arc with Nicholas and Glenn, I believe. I'm not completely sure. But where Nicholas wants to kill Glenn or something like that, or Rick or something like that. I'm not completely sure the story behind that. And from the teaser trailers that we've seen for tomorrow's episode, we kind of see that there may be foreshadowing that. It's a very quick scene. I actually noticed it due to the fact of another YouTuber having told me. I saw his video and then I rewatched the teaser trailer. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. His name is Danny the Walking Dead or something like that, or the Walking Dead Danny. It's pretty cool. I subscribed to him recently. Recently. And yeah, he kind of noticed that. I'm like, then after he mentioned that, I saw the thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it does seem like Nicholas is chasing after Glenn. Now that could be. I can't really tell if he has something in his hand. I've checked several times. I really can't tell. It doesn't really seem like he has anything in his hand. But it does seem like Glenn is either A, running away from Nicholas, which will make sense, or maybe Glenn and Nicholas are running towards something. Because and remember, The Walking Dead, they're infamous for cutting up scenes to make it seem like one thing's gonna happen and then another thing's happened. So maybe it's, despite the fact that it looks like Glenn is like trying to despite the fact that it seems that Nicholas is trying to kill Glenn, maybe it's just Glenn and Nicholas running towards something, maybe the front gate or whatever, which would make sense. But that is a pretty interesting story arc within the comics. Now it will be interesting to see that. Now, Nicholas, how would I want to see him die? Either A, same as the comics, he gets ripped apart by zombies. Actually, he didn't get ripped apart, but he got infected by zombies. But I would rather him get ripped apart by zombies. I think that'd be poetic justice. That'd be poetic justice. Or B, have Glenn kill him, which I think it's about time Glenn killed someone, because in the comics I don't think he ever killed a person. I don't think he's ever killed a person in the comics, and up to now he hasn't killed a person in the TV show yet. Or C, which I would love to see, but I think they'd never do it. Have Eugene just straight up kill Nicholas. Honestly, I'd love to see Eugene kill Nicholas. But I highly doubt, because again, in the comics, he's only killed about 2 people in the comics, more than Glenn, ironically, but whatever. But yeah, I would love to see Eugene kill someone in TV show eventually. I mean, he's killed zombies before, recently, even more up close than previously. So I would like to see him kill someone, and hopefully his first kill will be Nicholas. I highly doubt it, but I really want his first kill to be Nicholas. So yeah. Aside from that, that's basically it for now. My thoughts on Nicholas, and should he have died in the previous episode? I would love to see him die by now, because even from his first appearance, he seemed like a piece of shit survivor. I really did not like him. Yeah, Alexandria as a whole, there's a few survivors within that place that I really just do not like. They rubbed me the wrong way. Nicholas, he's one of them. Aiden, he was one of them, and I'm kind of happy he died. One other one, just one that really rubs me the wrong way. I really do not know why, but Olivia. In the comics, she is still alive, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And in the TV show, Olivia, she's a fat lady from who's in the kitchen with Carol. She really rubs me the wrong way. I have no idea why. I just think it's because she's so oblivious to the zombie apocalypse. She knows it's out there. She's like, oh yeah, zombies, they're dead people. But I'm here with my kitchen. I'm gonna cook. Fuck the zombies. She really rubs me the wrong way. And yeah, good thing we don't see her a lot in the comics. I think her last appearance was like issue 115 or something like that, right before All Out War. Um, so yeah, hopefully we don't. Hopefully either A, she dies at some point in the TV show. I mean, honestly, I would care. I wouldn't give a shit. Or B, they just write her out. Slowly write her out like they did in the comics. Just have her kind of in the background. Maybe mention her every 20 issues or whatever in the show, once every season. So yeah, or have her appear once every season or whatever. So yeah, that's basically it for this my discussion topic on Nicholas, as well as some other stuff that kind of go off tangent as usual. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Nicholas? Do you think he should have died? Comment on that down below. Let me know. Aside from that, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. Aside from that, thank you again, Danny the Walking Dead, for letting me notice that thing from the clips. Really do appreciate it. I really didn't notice it, and now it kind of changes the perspective a bit more on the show in regards to Nicholas and what they could possibly do with him. Because I didn't think of that first. Because I didn't really think of that at first. That story arc with Nicholas and Glenn from the comics. I didn't really think about it up until you kind of said about it, and then I watched the clip. I'm like, oh yeah. So yeah, subscribe, comment down below on your thoughts on it. I'll leave a link down to the Walking Dead's Danny the Walking Dead's channel. Aside from that, subscribe, comment down below, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. Follow me on Instagram, Daniel Mart. Aside from that, that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.